the Bills are going to have a home game to open up the playoffs. They're likely not going to have the number 1 seed because the Chiefs did take care of business. But what they will have is the favor of every single person at CBS, including some folk at ESPN, because it feels like no matter what Josh Allen does, no matter how poorly he plays or how good or bad the surrounding cast is for the Bills, everybody just wants to love on Josh Allen. Did you watch this live, C-Cat, when Josh Allen threw the pick deep in the end zone, 3rd and 16 from their own 50?
Yes, I was in a bar in Westchester, Pennsylvania, watching that arm punt live.
Did you, when you saw him throw that interception, what was your immediate thought on that? Did you think it was a good play by Josh Allen? I mean, what'd you think?
I don't think it's fair to ask me because I am a Josh Allen fantasy football owner. So when I see him chuck the ball deep, I don't think, okay, field position game. I think, oh, no, not a touchdown. It's actually -2 points. That adversely affects my wallet and my hopes of raising a championship born and bred in the Cat household. But I didn't think it was that. That's kind of the Josh Allen that we've known. He kind of makes those decisions, and whether they're calculated or not, oftentimes the result can give the excuse of calculation.
Yeah, so he was 16 for 29, 154 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick against a bad Patriots team. The Buffalo Bills did escape with a 24-21 win. James Cook carried the day, 11 carries, 100 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. Also was the leading receiver with 3 catches and 26 yards and a touchdown through the air. Josh Allen had a bad game. The Bills escaped with a win. That's all you care about in the NFL is leaving 1-0. I believe that wholeheartedly. And they improved to 12-3. They're still in the race for the 1 seed in the AFC. Just last week, Josh Allen was -1,000 to win the MVP. I told y'all that was a ridiculous number. People laughed at me. I said, y'all, he only has this strong of an MVP case because y'all want him to win it, not because he's that much more separated than Lamar Jackson. You said I was a crazy man. And then we watched Josh Allen against the Patriots struggle, drive after drive, sneak away with the win, and the most telling part of how there is favorable coverage and coddling of Josh Allen was not only how his interception was handled, because CBS Sports tweeted out the interception Josh Allen threw on 3rd and 16 and called it an arm punt, which was laughable. But I said, you know what? It's probably like not an intern, but it's a social media team. I'm not going to knock CBS for that, right? Social media team tweeted that, not the broadcasters. But then an actual person that considers himself an analyst and an NFL expert and a former quarterback in the league, Dan Orlovsky, was on ESPN, and he had this to say when they played back the highlights on Get Up.
Josh Allen throwing to the end zone, Dan. To the wrong team, though.
No, totally the right decision to do it, though. It's 3rd and 16. Who cares if the ball gets intercepted? You might get PI, you might get a catch. That's not an interception.
He's terrible.
Dan Orlovsky, listen now, listen clear. It ain't no air down there, my guy. It ain't no air down there. Get on up. Come up for air. Because what I'll tell you is you are exhausting yourself trying to find ways to excuse and coddle him. And just like back in the day when I was at track practice after he ran that 200 and I gave him my all, and track coach was like, hey, hands off your knee. Ain't no air down there. Come on up. Because he don't need your protection. He don't need your defense. That was an interception. That was a bad play. That was 3rd and 16 from a position in which if you check it down and make a smart play and pick up 5 yards or so, you're actually in field goal range. Coach didn't tell you to go out there and arm punt it and give it away. You punt the ball on 4th down if you were looking for a punt. On 3rd and 16, you can pick up 10 and get 3 points. Instead, it's a negative play, and it didn't end up a touchback. It ended up on the 1-yard line because of how idiotic of a play I believe it was Duggar made after he made the interception. But it's crazy to me, C-Cat, that you have that. You have CBS calling it an arm punt on Twitter. And then also at the end of the game, I'm not sure if you saw the graphic. At the end of the game,
this is bad. This is like
what? This is the part that you didn't like.
This is deep state media stuff. Like you read
it's crazy,
dystopian novels and like how they're changing facts. Yeah. Like this was actually bad.
This is like not even. They're not even hiding it at this point. The favorability in which they give when it comes to covering Josh Allen. They put up a graphic of the final stats of the game. And, it had Josh Allen stats on there, James Cook, and also Drake May for the Patriots stats on there. And for May, it showed his touchdowns, his yards, and his interceptions. Makes sense. For James Cook, showed his touchdowns, his yards, and I believe his receptions. Makes sense. For Josh Allen, though he had the same amount of interceptions as Drake May, there was no sign of it on that graphic. How do you explain that, C-Cat?
You can't explain that. That's bad.
This is crazy. But it hasn't just been this. This is more public. This is more obvious. The treatment of Josh Allen since, almost day one has been insane. And unless he has Olivia Pope on his PR team from Scandal, or unless maybe he's got something over these guys at the media companies. Maybe he saw something that Dan Orlovsky did and he holding it down for him, and that's why, buddy, it ain't no air down there. He don't want to come up. It's sick to me though, and it's not objective. And also, why can't Lamar every now and then get that same level of treatment? I don't get it.
Yeah. Did you look at the odds? How they've adjusted since
they shifted
the weekend?
What? Minus.
I got Josh Allen at minus 500, Lamar at plus 375. And that was, combined with a down Josh Allen game, it was a big Ravens win and a big performance from Lamar Jackson. So that makes sense.
It makes sense. Lamar also had a Jackson 5 last weekend too. So, that's what I don't get. Lamar's stats have been better than Josh Allen's all year. Lamar and the Ravens beat the Bills. Actually, they beat the crap out of them this season. That's what I don't get. But still, you think Josh Allen's the MVP favorite. He don't got a case for it. Lamar's the MVP. In fact, Saquon Barkley had a chance to have an MVP moment, but he missed it. He dropped the ball. And he's not going to rise up in those rankings. But Josh Allen ain't the guy that y'all want him to be, and that's fine. He's still got to go out there and prove it on the field every Sunday like everybody else. You can't win those games for him. You can't call his mistakes arm punts. And as much as you want to cover him in a favorable light, he got to go get it like everybody else.